Holy crap, or Shazbot, or pick your swear word of choice. That's really what came to mind to me this week as Microsoft finally announced the Xbox Series S. We kind of knew it was coming for a while. There were a ton of leaks, but now it's officially here. It's going to be $299 coming on November 10th alongside the Series X. What's truly interesting is that this is a pretty inexpensive console that has most of the features coming into the Series X. So that includes a fast SSD and support for high frame rate gaming. What's even better is that you can finance it with Xbox All Access over 2 years and also get Game Pass Ultimate bundled together with that. No matter which way you look at it, the Xbox Series S does seem like a genuinely great deal. Here's the thing, as exciting as the Xbox Series X sounds, especially for people who are really into hardware, that $499 cost is going to be a big jump for a lot of consumers, especially now that we're facing a global pandemic and a financial crisis and everybody, a lot of people at least, are out of work. And to truly take advantage of the Series X, you need a brand new 4K TV with support for HDMI 2.1 and high refresh rates. Really, that's a system that's built for the people who bought the Xbox One X at launch, gamers who demand the best at all costs. But I really think the Xbox Series S is built for everybody else. The parents who really need to get their kids a new console this season, or anybody who's still stuck with an Xbox One, the launch version, or the Xbox One S. It's still going to be a massive upgrade in overall quality. That crowd of consumers won't care if their games are actually being rendered natively in 4K or how many teraflops more the PlayStation 5 has over the system. They just want to play the games, and that's really what it's aiming at. And in that respect, you'll definitely see some improvements over the original Xbox One and One S. Microsoft says it's targeting 1440p at 60 frames per second, but it also has support for up to 120 frames per second, so newer TVs will also be able to take advantage of that. And to be clear, that's a huge improvement over the Xbox One and One S, which often struggle to maintain 1080p at 30 frames per second. 60 was kind of a luxury. For players, it means your games will just look smoother, no matter if you have an older HD TV, which can still play up to 60 frames per second, or if you have a newer set, you'll definitely see an improvement with that higher frame rate. And here's the thing, I've been arguing for years that native 4K rendering doesn't matter as much as faster frame rates. You will just notice that difference a lot more. You will only really notice 4K if you're standing or sitting really close to a large set, and that's not something most people do. Think about how far couches are away from most TV sets in living rooms. You can also expect some dramatically faster load times with the Series S thanks to Microsoft's new Velocity architecture. This is the custom SSD they've been building together with Seagate that is going to offer much faster load times than the tiny laptop drives that were in all the previous systems. Levels will just pop up quicker, you'll spend less time sitting and waiting for things to load. You'll also be able to jump right back into where you were in your last session with the quick resume feature. Still, the amount of storage in the Series S could be a problem. It has a 512 gigabyte drive compared to the 1 terabyte drive on the Series X. And modern games, especially things like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that game alone can take up to 200 gigabytes. You add in Warzone there, that's another 100 gigabytes. That's over half of your drive being eaten up right there. You can always add on the 1 terabyte Seagate expansion card that Microsoft is going to offer, but we don't know how much that's going to cost. And just looking at the price of PC SSDs today, I'd expect it to go for at least $200. So at that point, you're basically up to the price of the Series X. Microsoft also mentioned DirectX ray tracing for the Series S, but I really wouldn't bet on that doing too much on this system. We've seen with NVIDIA's PC graphics cards that ray tracing can take out a lot of performance. And with a system that's already kind of anemic compared to the Series X, I just don't expect it'll do too much, but hey, maybe AMD will surprise us with its new hardware. I'll say this, if you're very excited about ray tracing, especially in games like Control where it looks incredible, you'll just probably want to aim for the Series X. But I'd really bet more people would care about access to games and newfangled tech like ray tracing. And that's where Game Pass Ultimate comes in. It typically offers around 100 new games and same-day availability of Microsoft first-party titles. And this service typically costs $15 a month. I think it's a great value. I invested in it for the Xbox One for several years. But as part of Xbox All Access, you'll get that plus the Xbox Series S for $25 a month. You're basically only spending $10 there per month for the console itself. That's a pretty incredible deal. And I'll definitely mention here that if you're still amped up for the Series X, you can also get that as part of Xbox All Access for $35 a month. So still a solid deal there. Now, typically I'd say you're better off buying all of your content outright and not really dealing with financing, but Microsoft is offering a pretty sweet deal here. It's 0% APR, so you're not paying any extra interest. And over the cost of 2 years with the Series S, you'll pay $600, which sounds like a lot compared to just $300 for the console itself. But that money includes money you'd probably be spending for Game Pass Ultimate anyway, and you don't have to give up $300 up front. And I think for a lot of people, that's gonna make a huge difference. For parents, it's likely gonna seem like a no-brainer purchase this year. After 2 years of paying for Xbox All Access, the console itself will only cost you about $240 a month. And I get it, this seems like a strange new way of thinking of consoles, but it's hard to deny how much of a good deal Game Pass Ultimate is. Instead of spending $60 on a new game like Forza Horizon, I could put that money towards 4 months of Game Pass Ultimate and get that game and a ton of other titles too. And let's be clear here, Microsoft has done a great job of packing in lots of great games into Game Pass Ultimate, and also it just announced that EA Play is going to be a part of the service too, and that's another close to 100 games, really well-known, popular EA titles like The Sims and other things. You also get discounts on games that you want to purchase that are being offered by the service, and there's also Game Pass Ultimate for PC. Windows PC gamers will get access to newer games like Crusader Kings 3, which aren't on Xbox yet. I haven't even gotten to cloud gaming, which is officially arriving on Game Pass Ultimate on September 15th. And that just really opens up new ways of playing up to 100 Xbox games. And you can play them on Android tablets and smartphones. And don't forget that Microsoft is also doing a great job with backwards compatibility. Within Game Pass, we're often seeing older games from the system that are available. And hey, the Xbox Series S will also play your digital games from the previous Xbox libraries. So I think that's pretty helpful too. And sure, you can enjoy all these perks with Game Pass Ultimate on the existing Xbox One S and One X, but that's not really who I think Microsoft is aiming for here with the Series S. They're really targeting the parents who probably know they need to get a new system this year for the holidays for their kids and are looking at their options. It gives you a taste of next-gen gaming for a really affordable price, and quite honestly, it's not something Sony will likely be able to match with the diskless PlayStation 5. That system is going to have the same hardware as the major, fully equipped PlayStation 5, but it likely won't be anywhere near $300 because, that hardware still costs a lot of money. It's strange to say it, but Microsoft's most interesting next-gen console may be the one without the fastest hardware around. The Xbox Series S is good enough, and paired together with a really compelling game subscription service and some decent financing, it seems like a great deal for everybody. Stay tuned to Engadget.com for more news about the Xbox Series S and all the next-gen consoles. We've got a lot of news coming, don't worry about it. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe.